Hello, hello. Have you ever gone through extreme measures for delicious African food? Well, today I am going to be sharing my story of the great lengths that I went through for the delicious delicacy of roasted African corn. And just to let you know, this was an international mission from two African countries to America. And I will be focusing on one of the African countries, Tanzania. I'm wondering if I should call this story a true story adventure of smuggling African roasted corn, but I'll have to think about that. So when I think of the joy of African roasted corn, which is also known as maize in many African countries, I think of the smoky smell of the corn over an open roasted fire, the delicious roasted kernels of the corn, and these are corn that needs no seasoning. It doesn't need any butter, salt, or pepper. This is corn that tastes so good naturally. And so, yes, I have to confess that because it's so delicious, I had to smuggle it from two African countries to America. And this is because the corn in America that I've tried, it doesn't taste the same as the African corn. The American corn is light yellow with a very soft texture and very sweet, whereas the African roasted corn is like a deep yellow color. It's mildly sweet and it has a very hard texture. And I love the texture. I love to just chew and chew and chew on the corn. It's just so delicious. That's exactly the way I like it. So I have been on a mission to really find a corn that matches the African maize, the African roasted corn that I like. And I've been to more than 80 countries around the world. And I can let you know that I have yet to find it, which is why this mission started as far as the international mission to bring my favorite corn to America. And so, as I said, I am going to be sharing about this mission from Tanzania to America. So, let me tell you what happened. When I arrived at the Tanzania airport, I went from the airport on a mission. That same day that I arrived, I was looking for my favorite roasted African corn. And guess what? On the drive from the airport, I was able to spot a vendor on the roadside selling the delicious African roasted corn. And I was just so excited, I could not contain myself. So, from that day onward, while during my stay in Tanzania, I had corn from this vendor almost each day, and it was so delicious. But as my time in Tanzania ended, I was thinking, how am I going to bring this corn to America? And I had no idea. I had no idea. The vendor had carefully wrapped each corn for me in the newspaper. And so, in packing my luggage, I then secured each piece as if it was gold. I secured it and wrapped it around my clothes and put it in different parts of my luggage. And I was just thinking at the back of my mind, I really hope it makes it through. This was for my check-in luggage. And so, as I was thinking, my heart was beating fast as my plane was approaching the destination for landing in the United States. My heart was beating so fast. And I was wondering, would this precious roasted corn be seized from me? I had no idea. Well, you can all take a deep breath. Luckily, the roasted corn was not seized. I only had 8 pieces of it. And my next mission was, since I only had 8 pieces, will this corn last me a long time? Because I love corn so much I can eat the whole one in one day. So I really didn't know. So I had devised a strategy, and my plan was to just have a few bites of one corn each day since I only had 8. So I just took a few bites. I think I planned it at maybe 3 bites a day. And guess how long it lasted me? Not 1 month, not 2 months, not 3 months, but it lasted me 5 whole months, taking it each bite at a time. Now that took a lot of discipline, self-discipline, in order not to eat all the corn in one week. And I was just, it was almost like having this precious snack each day, and I really, really loved it. And to let you know, there were some who asked me if I would be willing to sell the corn. And after I thought of how much I went through just to bring the corn from the African continent into the United States, in my mind, I was thinking, even if I was offered 1 million, I don't think I would accept it. I'm usually a very, very generous person, but when it comes to African roasted corn, it is just too delicious. So I would like to hear from all of you. What great lengths have you gone through for your favorite food? Whether it's African food or your favorite cultural food from another culture, I would love to hear. But this is just one of my stories of the extreme lengths that I went through to get the delicious African roasted corn, which is also known as maize. And I hope for those who have not tried it, that you will get to try delicious African roasted corn one day, and then you will see what I'm talking about. Thanks for joining and thanks for hearing my story.